The IFP NEC, led by Party President Velenkosini Hlabisa, is briefing the media on matters pertaining to governance in the country and reflections on the GNU and GPUs. We cross live now to Durban for that briefing. Let's listen in.
Audit. And then the Premier, of course, Natal was the chairperson of the IFP in this province, Babu 18 Tuli, and the chairperson of the IFP in the province of Gauteng, Babu Dlamini, and the Treasurer General of the IFP, Ubaba Onaren Singh, Ukabisa. Colleagues, happy Monday, and thank you very much for joining us this afternoon for this press briefing. I would now request humbly the President of the IFP, Ubaba OVF Hlabisa, to come forward and render the IFP NEC statement. Bulawa, over to you. David, you will circulate the copies now.
Thank you very much to our national spokesperson, Comrade Umkhuleko Hlengwa. Greetings to the national chairperson of the IFP, the Honorable MP Kwala, who is also our chief whip in the provincial legislature of KwaZulu-Natal, and greetings to our Deputy Secretary General, Honorable Mngwango, and greetings to the Secretary at the national level of the Women's Brigade, who is also our Mayor, Umlalazi, Umama Mrs. Cutie Xulu. Greetings to the Treasurer General, Honorable Naren Singh, who is also the Deputy Minister at a national level. Greetings to our Premier in the province of KwaZulu-Natal, who is also the chairperson of the IFP in this province. And lastly, greetings to Honorable Bonkosi Dlamini, our chairperson in the province of Gauteng, but also our MEC in the government of provincial unity in Gauteng. Greetings to all the media houses that are present here and those who are following us in other platforms, and greetings to the people of South Africa. Ladies and gentlemen of the media, we felt it important to call you here today to add our voices to the pressing matters facing our nation and to reaffirm our commitment to accountability, transparency, and responsible governance. The Inkatha Freedom Party stands firm in its unwavering commitment to serve the people of South Africa. We regard the mandate entrusted to us by the voters in 2024 as a sacred people's contract, a call to be responsible leaders and dedicated servants of the people of South Africa. We want to thank you for honoring our invite this afternoon to allow us to report back to the people of South Africa, the nation at large, through your good selves, the media. I want to begin by doing reflections on the Abakulusi by-elections that was held last week on Wednesday. The IFP has consistently demonstrated that it is a party that values its principles, its voters, and the development of our communities. It is against this background that we sincerely thank the voters of the Ward 23 in Abaqulusi municipality for trusting the IFP and delivering a resounding victory, securing the majority of votes against combined opposition of ANC and MKP. The victory of the IFP at Abaqulusi was a clear demonstration that people who support the IFP are not confused by the IFP's participation in the GNU or GPU. They know when it comes to the time of voting the IFP, they will clearly put their cross next to the IFP and endorse the IFP because they know the IFP is in the GNU or GPU in order to govern or be part of governance, but this does not dilute the image of the IFP. The endorsement on Wednesday at Abaqulusi was a clear endorsement reflecting that our supporters recognize the IFP as a party differentiated by its track record and integrity. That it is a testament that the people trust us to deliver real change, especially in contested space. When it comes to current political developments, recently, following the pronouncements of Lieutenant General Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi, the IFP issued a statement on July 6, 2025, calling for a judicial commission of inquiry led by a retired judge and demanding that Minister Senzo Mchunu be placed on special leave. Therefore, the President Ramaphosa's announcement on July 13, 2025, squarely aligns with our recommendations, demonstrating that our voice has an influence on the national discourse. We note also the subsequent developments, the suspensions that has been carried after the 13th of July, as well as the work of Parliament emanating to establishment of the ad hoc committee. We welcome these steps as positive progress towards accountability. The allegations made by General Mkhwanazi go to the heart of a matter of serious concern to the IFP, this being political violence. We are seated here with a long list of unresolved cases of murders of political office bearers. We remain with no answers and families are without closure. Political interference and disruption as alleged into the investigations of political killings require a full-scale investigation. The allegation by Lieutenant General Mkhwanazi have entrenched a trust deficit between the SAPS and the country, which must be reversed through due process and through investigation. We further understand that the country is suffering from Commission of Inquiry fatigue, but the hard truth is that the SAPS, being a subject of allegation, is now the focus of investigations. A SAPS-led investigation is therefore not an option under the current circumstances. The IFP remains a vocal participant within the GNU, holding the government to its promise of transparency and swift justice. The NPA must do more and better and refocus itself to speedy prosecution, especially on the findings of the Zondo Commission of Inquiry into allegations of state capture. The work of the NPA so far does not inspire any confidence, and it is a bleeding wound. It is a bleeding ground for public mistrust. Restoring public trust in our security and legal systems remains our priority. When it comes to the question of the national dialogue, 8 years ago, on 5 May 2017, our founder, Prince Mangosuthu Buthelezi, emphasized the importance of national dialogue on issues like land reform, traditional leadership, poverty alleviation, and social cohesion. He pointed out almost prophetically that, I quote, "South Africa has reached a crossroads, economically, politically, and socially. We cannot move blindly into the future, accepting the present trajectory as fixed. It is not. We are, after all, masters of our own destiny," close quote. It is a matter of historic record that CODESA fell short in many respects to wholly transition South Africa into democracy, as political freedom has not, amongst others, translated into economic justice for South Africans. Since 1994, we have continuously advocated for a meaningful conversation through a national dialogue on these critical issues, because national unity and social stability depend on our collective ability to address these outstanding matters. The Inkatha Freedom Party firmly believes that South Africa's future depends on an open, inclusive, and honest dialogue amongst all its citizens. As Shenge reminded us, a national dialogue is not just about talking. It is about listening, understanding, and finding a common ground to address the nation's most pressing challenges. In times of economic, political, and social crossroads, dialogue offers a consensus seeking path to nation building. It emphasizes the importance of engaging diverse voices across all segments of society, from government and traditional leaders to ordinary citizens, to forge solutions rooted in mutual understanding. The IFP, therefore, lends its support to the upcoming dialogue to be held on the 15th of August 2025, because we recognize that genuine nationhood can only be achieved when leaders listen to the cries of the people and work together. As Prince Mangosuthu Buthelezi reflected, talking and listening are the foundations of a united South Africa. We remain committed to this principle, believing that through dialogue, we can reclaim the South Africa of our dreams, strengthen our democracy, and build an equal and prosperous nation. When we look forward to 2026, which will culminate in the local government election, as we prepare for the upcoming local government elections, we remain committed to delivering effective service delivery and strengthening our party structures. Where we lead at local government, we are closely monitoring our municipal leadership performance. We proudly recognize that 5 out of the 7 municipalities that achieved clean audit for the 2023-2024 financial year in KwaZulu-Natal are led by the IFP. These include the city of Umhlathuze that have achieved 5 clean audit consecutively, followed by King Cetshwayo district with 3 clean audit consecutively, followed by Umlalazi municipality with 2 clean audit consecutively, and joined by Umsinga and Umvoti municipalities. We are putting our eyes on the municipalities that we govern as the IFP because we want to demonstrate that clean leadership results into clean and accountable outcomes when it comes to the management of finances. These accomplishments reflect our commitments to responsible governance and sustainable development. In distressed municipalities where we govern, we have effected changes to turn things around to ensure the provision of service delivery, good governance, and leadership stability. As we continue with branch inauguration throughout the country, we are converting all branches into election committees to focus to the 2026 local government elections. When it comes to the GNU and the PGUs, let me reiterate the IFP's resolute commitment to the government of national unity and the provincial GPUs, which embody a vision of healing the wounds of the past while working tirelessly towards a brighter, inclusive future for all South Africans. These governments represents a collective effort to rebuild trust and to develop our communities. As we reflect on our governance after 1 year of participating in the Government of National Unity and the Gauteng Government of Provincial Unity and leading the KwaZulu-Natal Government of Provincial Unity, we believe our impact can be felt at every level, but in particular on crime reduction and economic development. In particular, we must make mention of our collective effort to save Ithala Bank. I wish to applaud and urge continued support for the Premier of KwaZulu-Natal, Honorable A.T. Ntuli, and the MEC for Economic Development, Tourism and Environmental Affairs, Reverend Musa Zondi, in their critical fight against the proposed liquidation of Ithala Bank. Ithala is more than just a financial institution. It is the legacy of Prince Mangosuthu Buthelezi, but it is also a backbone of the KwaZulu-Natal's economy and a symbol of African enterprise and pride. We are committed to defending this vital institution and ensuring it remains a pillar of economic empowerment for our people. A call to action, urgency, and unity. South Africa needs more than just hope. We need a united effort to rebuild and transform our nation. This requires a sense of genuine urgency, decisive reforms, and active participation from all sectors of our society. The current moment demands that we go beyond mere talk. South Africa must act boldly, moving quickly and decisively to address the inequalities and challenges that face our people. In these times of economic and social crossroads, we must remember that South Africa's strength lies in its unity and resilience. We must unite in effort, reform swiftly, and implement solutions that foster social cohesion, economic growth, and justice. Our commitment to this nation extends beyond politics. The IFP is a voice of reason, a party rooted in principles of service, fairness, and respect. We are the people's servants dedicated to upholding the dignity of all South Africans and to building a country where everyone can thrive. We are proud defenders of our values rooted in Ubuntu and respect for all people. As I conclude, the IFP reaffirms its unwavering loyalty to the people's mandate. The IFP remains steadfast in its mission to serve the people of South Africa, uphold integrity, and promote accountable governance. We will continue to be vigilant, speak out on pressing national issues, and work tirelessly for a united and prosperous South Africa. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen from the media, for allowing us to express and communicate to the people of South Africa. Thank you very much, Mashash.
Thank you very much, Bulawa. David, can we transition the mics? Because I think it will be easier for the leadership to respond to the questions seated there, to also avoid standing. So,
Migration of the mics.
The migration of the mics. Thank you very much. Thank you, Bulawa. President, can I now request that we take questions? Please introduce yourselves and the media house which you come from, and then state your question. We'll take 3 rounds and then come back. David, what is it? a point of
Good afternoon, Dr. Melissa from Newsroom Africa. My first question has to do with Itala Bank. Quite recently, the ANC had a press briefing where they seemingly claimed victory over the issue, saying it was them, who were at the forefront of the bank being saved. Number two, when it comes to municipalities, I just want to find out the situation in Josini, since you've recalled Mr. Mate, and the result of his mismanagement also went as far as people not getting paid just last month or 2 months ago, if I don't recall correctly. But yes, those are my two questions for now.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mashasha. My name is Simple Makanya. I work for SABC News. I think one or two questions from my side. One, basically, regarding the proposed national dialogue. Of course, the party has made it clear that it welcomes this initiative, but there are concerns regarding the amount of money that has been projected for this particular exercise. I just want to get a sense from the IFP as to, have you thought about this, and if so, what is your attitude towards it? And then the other question has to do with the decision by the Kota MEC in KwaZulu-Natal, the intervention at Mkhanyabude district. Basically, the party ANC in KwaZulu-Natal is accusing MEC Reverend Muthelezi of abusing his powers, targeting ANC-run municipalities. And of course, they are saying there will be talks amongst the two parties which are concerned with this matter. What is going to be your approach and attitude as you go to those talks with the ANC? And are you not concerned that such utterances from your partners in the government of provincial unity could risk the stability of the GPU there in KwaZulu-Natal? I think I'll pause here for now.
All right, thanks a lot. Any other question? All right, thank you.
uzabethu SABC emakhaya usembuzo embuzo kodwa ngomthetho mhlawumbe
Please introduce yourself, Mr. Pongo.
Okay, so ukhumbula we-independent no manje u-edla lento uzo umakhaya ukuthi nawe ukhona nabephimo khona ngomthetho manje kwenzeka manje uabiseta uzofikile lapha abantu ne-cabbage manje yile ukulwa ngisipha.
Thank you very much. Next, can I request Mr. President to take questions?
Thank you very much.
Maybe, if I can, give indulgence and take.
Thank you. So I just wanted the participants on the appointment of Professor Kachanya. I'm Tandavasa from IFP apologies. I just wanted the participants on the appointment of Professor Kachanya to the Portfolio Committee to become the acting Minister of Police. Was the party, as you form part of the GNU, were you briefed about this, or the President just jumped to take this particular decision? But also, what do you make out of the fact that there are two deputy ministers that were skipped in this regard? And lastly, Mashasha, you said the work of auditing the branches ahead of an elected conference were underway. How far are you with that process? Thank you.
Thank you very much. Mr. President.
Thank you very much for the questions raised. We ensured that the Premier of KwaZulu-Natal is part of this briefing and the MEC in Gauteng, so that where relevant questions need the response from the government point of view, they are on board. But I will take these questions, and then they will, especially the Premier, will come for more additional information on these issues. Let me start with my sister from Newsroom Africa. on the question of the ANC's claim that they saved Itala. It was an empty claim, a claim done out of desperation. Truth be told, Itala would not have been where it is if it was not of the leadership of the ANC that was leading KwaZulu-Natal. They can't put Itala on a danger zone and then come and want to say they saved Itala. It is known, if it were not for the IFP that intervened, if it was not for the Premier that intervened and engaged even the President of the country, Itala issue will not be where it is now. So now, we do not want to speak more for desperate people when they want to become relevant, but use desperate motives in order to mislead people. The IFP was very clear that it will leave no stone unturned to ensure that Itala is not eventually shut down completely. We do appreciate the change of heart from the people of the ANC who were part of causing Itala to face a situation of nearly being closed down, of coming on board when the IFP was raising this matter. We even engaged the leadership of the ANC at a national level at the beginning of this year that we will not allow Itala Bank to be closed down. The Premier will then also come in as to what further is happening to ensure that Itala does not experience the bad conclusion that Itala goes back and become the backbone of the economic development of the province of KwaZulu-Natal for the people of South Africa, especially the African business people, and more especially women. A lot of women who run stockfels, they use Itala Bank. The lot of small business people who are entering in the business sphere, they use Itala Bank. A lot of young people who cannot get their bonds through other banking institutions, they were bailed out by Itala Bank. That is why the IFP stood firm and still stands firm. But I would allow the Premier at the end of my response to even take the process forward in as to how are we ensuring to the livelihood of Itala Bank. And whoever wants to join the IFP with a repentant heart is welcome, but not to claim an empty victory. Then on the question of Josini municipality, as I indicated, in June, we called all our mayors, deputy mayors, speakers, caucus chairs, chief whips, because we are giving a close monitoring on the municipalities we govern. Where we feel things are not going right, we do not hesitate to make changes in order to turn things around. It was unfortunate, and we issued a statement as a party governing Josini that the municipality experienced a challenge of employees not being paid. We have done an engagement with the new mayor and the reconfigured executive committee, and also through the support given by COGTA, because it is its responsibility to support our municipalities. We will ensure that our people in Josini will never experience the same of not getting paid, and that all the concerns that were around the service delivery will receive maximum attention. This is an approach we are adopting with all our municipalities that we govern. In the month of August, we are going to have a 2-day session, which we agreed with our municipalities in June, where we are going to be engaging on looking at the budget, the 2025-2026 budget, that one, every municipality will not run short of money before the end of the financial year, and secondly, that all projects that were committed to be completed in the financial year 2025-2026 by June next year, they must be completed. There are things that we indicated to our municipalities, that unfinished projects are an indictment to any municipality. So now every project that is being undertaken or that has been promised must be delivered in full within the financial year. Then it's a different case if it is a multi-year project, because they also explain to people that this is a multi-year project, it has phases. We will be monitoring those phases if it is a multi-year project. The issue of the national dialogue, Simpiwe, indeed, the IFP in another capacity as the Minister for COGTA, I am part of the team on behalf of the Cabinet that is a preparatory team for the dialogue. In our meeting, we expressed our disquiet in terms of the figure that was mentioned. And as the IFP, we are opposed in the excessive cost in relation to the national dialogue. We believe there must be a comprehensive review of the cost in relation to dialogue, national dialogue. The national dialogue is a continuation of the CODESA. It's a continuation to bring conclusion to outstanding matters. As I indicated, the issue of land will be a prime issue, the IFP. The issue of the powers, functions, roles of the traditional leaders remained unresolved in the CODESA discussion. Even today, Amakhosi, their rights, their roles, their functions are not clearly spelled out and allowed to be executed at the maximum. Amakhosi, traditional leaders and Khoisan leaders play a critical role in our communities, and we want a clear definition of their contributions, roles, functions, and responsibilities. It must not be done at an exorbitant price. The issue of poverty needs an open discussion. Black people, especially the Africans, every day they are becoming more poorer, and the very few rich are becoming more richer. We need to talk about how do we address the issue of
All right, live visuals there from Durban, where the IFP's NEC is briefing on issues around governance in the country. Leader there, Velenkosini Hlabisa, firstly reflecting on the Abaqolusi by-elections where they won, saying that the outcome indicates that communities are not confused about the IFP's participation in the GNU, that the party retains its independence even though part of the GNU. Hlabisa has also indicated that they welcome the president's interventions following the allegations of criminal syndicates enabled by some politicians, police officers and some members of the judiciary, specifically the magistracy. Then on another matter currently dominating headlines, it's around the national dialogue. The IFP has endorsed the process to converge as citizens to chart a way forward for the country. And then the party has again reiterated its position on Ithala Bank, saying they'll not sit back and allow for a sad ending to Ithala.